John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alcumalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show that we care by the things that we do and say. And unfortunately, a little earlier, we was having a few problems, but I'm going to try to catch back up to from where I left off at. And I was talking about how unfortunately it is how hurt people hurt other people and not realizing and thinking about, if you would think about when someone do something to you and it hurt, why would you want to do something like that to somebody else and hurt them the way you was hurting? If anything, looked like you would kind of learn from that to make sure that you didn't make that kind of a mistake and do something to someone that will hurt them, to hurt their feelings, or to do anything of that sort. And I try to learn from my mistakes as well as other people's mistakes, because when I see something and if it don't work for you, unfortunately, we got people where they look at things and they say, well, they wasn't strong enough, or they heart wasn't big enough, or they just couldn't handle it. Well, you don't have to look at it like that. We can walk a little softer and speak a little softer and try to make sure that we don't say or do something to hurt one another. And when I was talking a little bit earlier, I talked about how I watched my mother and father, how they loved on one another and how they treated one another. And I learned how to do things to lift others up rather than hurt them. I I never witnessed. I'm 71 years old now. I've been blessed. And all that time I never that I could remember, I don't never remember hearing my mother and father argue. If they got into an argument, they did it behind closed doors. And they made sure that whatever went on in that house, that we knew that it stayed in that house. They say whatever goes on here stays here. You don't go out there telling what's going on in your house. And like I was saying, how unfortunately people that get hurt look like they just want to go back and hurt somebody else. But I've never been that type of a person. If I saw something that I did in some cases to hurt people, and I have actually felt some kind of way my own self. It had come back to kind of hurt me, where I didn't really, I felt bad about it. I didn't want to do anything to hurt anybody. And as I was doing different things, I tried to make sure I lift people up. Even when I was in the streets, I never really did anything to hurt people. I was even trying to do things. It wasn't right, but I was trying to help people even then. I tell people, even in business, when my customers was coming in, I try to build a relationship. They're more than just a customer. And I try to make sure that they know that I need them more than they need me. Because see, in business, people that have the money, that's what helps to make your business, because they choose to come and spend their money with you. So you have to be careful how you treat people. You just can't treat them any kind of way and expect them to come and patronize you and support you. So, and as I was saying earlier, how I watched my mother and father, how he went to work, how he tried to make sure that she was pleased and satisfied, and he was lifting her up all the time, how he went and would buy a candy bar sometime. You've heard me mention this quite often, but I mention it from time to time because maybe somebody else didn't hear it. But when my dad would go to work he would stop and pick up a candy bar sometimes. He didn't do it all the time. But when he had a little money to do something like that, he'd pick up a candy bar, and that was all he had was enough money for one, that's all he bought. And he would eat half of it, and he'd take the other half home to my mother. And it just, you would have thought somebody would have gave her $1 million sometimes. She was so happy, I mean, not just jumping all over the place happy, but it made her feel good. And it made her feel good because it let her know that he was thinking about her. I talks about sometimes, even when we're doing different things, we could get off work or just at random stop. Sam Club have flowers sometimes. Sometimes even some of these grocery stores, Kroger's and what have you, could be in there and just grab it. It don't have to be a dozen rows all the time. Just pick up a flower, and it don't always have to be the man. Ladies, husbands, I mean wives and girlfriends and what have you, you can take your boyfriend, your husband, a flower, and just that lets him know that you're thinking about him, and you're treating him with, like I say, love and kindness. My Bible say, through by love and kindness have I drawn thee. So when you showing love and expressing love, it makes people feel love, and it makes them want to show love back. My father would say, "What good is love if you're not giving it away?" So you have to let people know. People don't know that you love them. People don't take it for granted that you love them. Love is not what you say, it's what you do. So we have to find ourselves doing things to exercise, to practice, to show that we love one another. And even here, like I would say, we build that relationship with people, with my customers and what have you. I try to make sure that they know I don't strike out. I don't want to hurt nobody on purpose. And my father, like I say, would say, people don't have to care enough about you to do anything for you. But when they do, choose to do something for you. When your husband do something for you, when your wife do something for you, when your friend do something for you, a work person that you're working with, you know, they don't owe you anything. But when they do something for you, let them know that you appreciate that. Look, I appreciate what you did. I realize that you didn't have to do it. My brother from another mother down here that sometimes y'all see us together on the show and we talk, but sometimes I come in and sometimes over the evening, sometimes if, I ask, you had anything to eat? And he, well, I figure we'd go and get something, and I may not feel like going out. I run over in the kitchen and cook both of us something to eat. It don't make me a flunky. It don't make me look bad because I am a man, and you don't have to tell me. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know what I am. So I don't have to prove nothing to anybody, and nor do you. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, but we can express love. We can show love. We could treat people with love. And hopefully, by them seeing us doing that, they'll learn how to love on people themselves, even those hurt people. You don't have to hurt, just because they hurt you. Well, I'm away. If you can't get even with them, you go and lash out at somebody else. It don't help nothing. It makes matters even worse because now you're just keeping it going. We don't have to keep it going. It have to stop somewhere. So let's nip it in the buds, as they say. Let's continue to love our sisters and brothers, husbands and wives, our children, and let's communicate. Sometimes, communication, you just have to, sometimes you can get up in the morning and look at each other and be looking kind of rough. But that's not because you mad or nothing. It's just because, what they say, that's that morning look. And over in the evening, you could be doing something and you may have a headache and somebody say something to you and you may not respond the way they want you to respond, but that don't mean that you're mad or upset with nobody. And just like you can be like that and feel like that and be in that kind of a mood, so can someone else. So when you see somebody else is, going through some kind of change like that, you can ask them, hey, you all right? You need anything? Is anything I could do for you to help you out? What's going on with you? Sometimes we just need to let them know that we're concerned, that we're thinking about them. Let them know that I see you. You look like you have no problem. What can I do to help make it better? You know? And thinking about stuff like that, realizing things like that, we have to constantly remember we want to treat people the way you want to be treated yourself. Don't you want to be loved? Don't you want people to care about you? Don't you want people to lift you up? Well, if they do or don't, it don't mean that you just because you get up in the morning that they have to do that. But when it someone thinks enough of you to take the time out and lift you up, it makes you feel good. I know it makes me feel good. Even my customers, sometimes I tell them, I appreciate you. And there's nothing on the wall that say that when my customer come in, I got to let them know that I appreciate them. But I don't take them for granted. I realize that they could take their money anywhere and spend it. So I let them know every now and then, hey, I appreciate you. And I let them know that I know that they can take their money anywhere. But I let them know that I appreciate when they choose to come and see me. And even if they just in passing, and if you don't have no money, you don't want to buy anything, you got a minute or two that you just want to chop it up with, I mean, just stop in and holler at me. I'm not too big, too small, too this or too whatever. I'm just John, a regular guy. You can call me basic, whatever you want to call me. But I want to try to be there for people. I want to try to be there to help lift people up. I want to encourage you, for you to help encourage one another and realize that you can do anything you want to do. All you have to do is put forth the effort and just be. I used to tell people, and a lot of people want to be seen. You don't have to be seen all the time when you're doing things. I tell them around here a lot of times, just leave me alone. Just let me do what I do. You don't have to say, John did this, John did that, or whatever. It's not about that. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about lifting one another up. There's no big eyes and little U's. My father used to always tell me, there's no big eyes and little U's. We all are somebody. Everybody is somebody. When we go to church, my father teaches and let everybody know that everybody walk through that door is somebody. And just because you just walked in there, I'm no important than you, and you're no important than I am. In some cases, we go to some churches, and I thought about this here because when I got to talking about the church, uh, one of the we had a visitor that came in, and most of the time there's a little corner I sits in, and I walked up in, and I spoke to him, shook his hand, and was moving on. He said, "This your seat?" I looked around, and I said, "No." He said, "Well, don't you sit here?" I said, "Yes, I do when there's no one there." I said, "But it's your seat now because you in it." I said, "This is my seat today. That's your seat." I said, "We don't, no, none of these seats have names. Nobody bought a seat. We're just worshiping. It's a worship place. If I'm sitting on that seat, this seat, or in the back, we're still here just to worship. So I'm not claiming any seats. I don't have a seat. And we got some people fall out if you get in their seat. So I just want you to realize and think about that hurt people hurt people. So let's stop getting hurt and hurting people. Let's turn that thing around and start lifting people up. Try to make people feel good. Try to make people feel good about themselves. So today, hopefully you got something out of what I said, and try to just lift, practice trying to help put a smile on somebody's face. Thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alcumalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show it by the things that we do. So thank you for listening and have a great day.
Beverly, the candy man, the businessman with a conscience.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience. I want you to tune in to licmc.net radio every Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Also, watch Comcast Xfinity every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Also, with my friends at the Alcumaline Village. My newest news is I have a channel on stream.com/London TV Net. 24/7 live streamed TV networks. The name of my station is John B TV. And remember, this is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, where people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And thank you guys for listening.
I can't breathe. You alright? I can't breathe.
Hey Nino, you shouldn't have.
Fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere. It's messing up our air. We got breathing stuff. 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 Too much carbon dioxide can make your insides lopsided. Rebreathing VOCs from automobiles, trucks, and DOTs. How much PM10 are y'all breathing in? Y'all have no idea what's blowing in the wind. Do I detect some PM 2.5? If you breathe too much of this, then you gon' die. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere. It's messing up our air. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere. It's messing up our air. We got breathing stuff. 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 We monitor the air, cause we gotta breathe this stuff. Big businesses don't care. We make them listen up. When the light is blue, we loving what we see. When it's red, mask up, hold your breath, don't breathe. Air quality index, AQI. We learning about what's in our air and learning why. In your industrial park, factories make pollution in the sky and stay dark. Whoa. We got breathing stuff. We got gotta breathe this stuff. We 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 need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere, it's messing up our air. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere, it's messing up our air. Fresh air. We gotta breathe this stuff. 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 Fresh air, fresh air. Can I get some fresh air? Fresh air. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere, it's messing up our air. We need fresh air, please, for all of us to breathe. Pollution everywhere, it's messing up our air. Fresh air, fresh air.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.